Hello, dear viewer and listener, and people using the ability of time travel to watch this from the year 3000 when the human race is gone. I hadn't planned that. Hello and welcome to Bergkamp Wonderland. We are no longer a football podcast. We have evolved like the human race. We are now aiming at the lowest common denominator. That's gamers, people who watch films, and people who are stuck in watching Netflix 24/7. And with me tonight, we have the man who's been doing this all day, every day anyway. It's Nick from Norwich. Right, Nicky boy?
All right, Danny, how you getting on, mate?
I'm fat, and I'm still waiting for you to do the Dan.
Give me a minute. I don't know how to do that now. You're in charge. You've got the buttons. I haven't got my buttons.
Oh, no, that's terrible. No, Nick's got his own channel, Nick Fights, on Twitch. And whenever I come on there, he has that clip from Alan Partridge where he's in the car park chatting to some bloke called Dan. Right, he didn't hear me. And that's it. Every time he does it. And I don't think most people have any idea what you're doing. Anyway, nice to have you on a show where it's not going to be football. And thank you for that, Nick. Nice one. Thanks for joining in. Also, we got Josh. We all thought he was dead. He wasn't dead. He's in hibernation up north where they've been hibernating since, November?
Yeah, just about that. It was due to snow up here this weekend as well. That's how bad it is. No, we had sun instead. Really messed with you with this microclimate. But yeah, I have been around. It's just what happened was someone got the sniffles and football was cancelled. So I've been around.
Get on with it. That's Steve to tell him what, fucking get on with it, you shit bags. And finally, they're going to remake the film Running Man, and they're not going to use Schwarzenegger. They're going to use our Kris. Kris, tell people about your sub 1 minute mile or whatever it is you've done.
Not quite. No, I'm fairly regularly under the 8 minute mile now, which is it's progress. It's all good.
What did you think of Britney Spears beating the 100 meter record in 6 seconds this week?
I haven't seen this, Josh. You'll have to enlighten me.
Yeah, Britney put on her Instagram that she'd done 100 meters in 6 seconds, or at least alluded to it.
Was that 100 meters? Was that a line of 100 meters substance or something like that? Or
either way, it's impressive, isn't it?
It is, yeah. No, I'm. Yeah, I mean, I'm Danny. I'm bored. What this is like? What? When did lockdown happen? Tuesday in the UK? Was it Tuesday?
It's been less than a week, and people are already shaving their heads.
I just for the viewers listening, all three of you, don't worry. Okay, my hair is staying. Don't worry. My hairline is going back, but my hair is staying. I won't be shaving it off. No, I'm just a bit bored. I was looking for a new job before this all happened. That's now not going to happen. I'm currently my best weekend league performance ever on FIFA, which is great, but I'm sure that will come tumbling out later on when I go back on. But other than that, there is not a lot to do. I tried COD. I know we're going to talk about this in a minute, but I was terrible at that. I just died every time. So yeah, I haven't got a lot to do. So basically, I'm running pretty much every day. Not around the house, just going out. I'll one exercise a day.
You heard of that tool who did the entire marathon on his six meter long balcony? Why bother?
I mean, that would get boring.
Grow up.
Yeah,
fucking attention seekers. Unless you did a charity, then well done, sir.
I've also slid into the home workouts crew as well now.
You do look like that bloke. What's his name?
Not Joe Wicks. No.
Yeah, you do. You look like it's our very own pirate Joe Wicks.
I'd be delighted to look as good as he does, and certainly with his money. But no, I got out the old
on Instagram. You do look quite like him. It's just an Instagram nipple gate.
They're good nipples. They're good. They are, as nipples go. They're good. But yeah, I have to. At the end of the day, I've got to keep up with Josh. I mean, he's the svelte, in-conditioned man member. No, that sounds wrong. Member of the pod. So
the direction I didn't like the sound of.
It's like him and Collins. I would say. Actually, no, I don't know. Collins, he's full of beer.
Have you seen Fife?
Actually, no, Fife is ripped now, isn't he? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. And Dom, of course. How can we forget Dom? So, we've got to keep up standards, Danny. We can't all be fat, lazy asses like you, can we?
On day 30 for me, dear 34, as all the funny people say. 34 days in a row I've not left the house. Where's my fucking medal? Where's my MBE, you fuckers?
In the bin along with all the takeaway wrappers.
Yeah, and then I was only out for a day, and then I was in for another 27 days before that. Jesus, stuff in the private chat already. Oh, right, okay. Josh just been mean about some kind person. Right, first of all, we must go over and some breaking news here. Really important people. Craig's got from Same Old Arsenal podcast. Go follow them on Twitter and YouTube. They're with Mike and Andy and Amanda and Sophie. It's my favourite Arsenal podcast. So he says he has cheese puffs. You can't admit that in these times, Craig. People will come round and it'll be like a scene from The Walking Dead where they're trying to get in your house to get your cheesy puffs off you.
Is that the home of the podcast quiz?
Yes, it is. Yes, and it's still available. And Harry won it with a tiebreaker. It's very, very well organised by Dan. I gave up. I was doing really well with the transfers, and then he started doing shirt numbers, and I had no idea about the shirt numbers. So that episode is still every pun they've ever done is still on YouTube. Go and have a look at that. If you're bored, Craig's retweeted it a bit earlier today, so go and have a look. It's really good. Oh, here we go. Craig says he's painted his house 3 times. Right. I'm surprised there's not about 2,500 people here. We have our very own Nick Fights. We have Michael in Sweden. I've been reading this news about Sweden. All on the bus without masks. Not very good at all. We have Pat Brady. Isn't he one of those people who throw balls in?
It's Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Same thing. Who else have we got in there? We've got Grayed Out Man, who's on. He's actually a grayed out character. That's good to know. Consistency. We have the Mr. Arsenal podcast. I always get his name wrong. I think it's Ryan. I watched his show quite a few times. Very good podcast. And then I have to go and look his name up because I always forget what his bloody name is. It's like you, Josh. For the first 3 years I knew you, I called you. Who's the other bloke?
Ellis. It's ironic that you forgot his name as well. Or Ross.
Ross, that was it.
Yeah.
Getting Josh and Ross mixed up.
Jesus Christ.
There we go. Pat Brady watched Craig's podcast. He said they were tough questions on Same Old Arsenal. They were indeed. Later tonight, I'm doing the show with Mike and Andy and Lee Judges. I hope they've paid Craig a decent loan fee for him. I've got no fucking idea what they're doing. It's something to do with great Arsenal teams over the years, and we all got to pick one. You know what the Americans like, where they do their draft picking thing. I've got no idea, but I'm bound to win it because I've got skills. Right. Today, I hear you shout, what are we going to do? It's been 7.5 minutes. We haven't even got into it yet. Oh, I must say hello to Ellis and all you wonderful people that are risking your lives, working for the NHS with fuck all support, with gloves and masks. I've heard nurses ringing up Talk Radio today and LBC and saying they're giving us paper masks and telling us to get in there with people that got the fucking plague. You're more of a man than I am, Ellis. I'd have fucking retired. It is. It's fucking disgraceful. Poor people. Anyway.
But we should also say, to caveat that, fuck Ellis, obviously.
Oh, fuck Ellis.
I mean, he's a wonderful man, but still fucking...
You know, the other day when we meant to go outside the front of your house and applaud at 8 p.m, I sent Ellis a message that just gone 8 o'clock, said, I'm not applauding you. I've been putting up your shitty fucking Wi-Fi for 3 years. I need a fucking award. And he went, tomorrow I'll applaud you at 8 o'clock. Good old Ellis and Mrs. Ellis. They're both working their asses off, which is good. Right, so first thing we're going to do is talk about games. So I said to this lot a minute before the show started, the first topic we're going to do, your first ever gaming machine, be it PC or console, or in Chris's case, a chessboard where you ate all the pieces, and then your favourite gaming machine. And if you had to play 3 games ever, what did you refer to it as, Josh?
Desert Island Discs.
Desert Island Diskettes.
Who was it that was doing? I saw someone doing Desert Island Discs as
that's good.
As an Arsenal show as well. Yeah, no, I didn't want to give it the credit that it truly deserves.
Any proper producer at this stage would now play the theme to Desert Island Discs, but we've got Danny, so thanks, Pierre-Emerick.
And we can't afford to pay the royalty fees for it.
No, unless we can, it ain't happening. Right, so my very first computer was my dad bought one home. It must have been about 1981, Atari 2600. And Dave next door, God rest his soul, had a ColecoVision and an Intellivision. And I used to remember playing Superman on Dave's machine, and it was wondrous. But Craig's first one, Spectrum 48K. I've got a Spectrum 48K down there, a 1984. Spectrum Plus with a Raspberry Pi in it. And Phil Macker is here. Right, Phil. While I talk about this, I should add there is nothing I would hate more than to play old Spectrum, Commodore, Amiga, SNES, Dreamcast, all those games can all get fucked. I am not interested at all. My machine down there, 7,000 games on it. I've played it once. And my mate Tony, bless him, West Ham fan, he's just got the new Spectrum. The Spectrum, what's it called? Like any of you are going to fucking know. They've just released a new Spectrum, a long one, big thing. He's just got pictures of him on Instagram and he's all happy and cause he's opening it and having a play with it. I couldn't think of anything fucking worse than playing shitty games with shitty graphics. Although I do watch the Retro Man Cave on YouTube. Go and watch him, fantastic. And also there's a podcast, the Retro podcast. Fuck it, why can't I remember what it's called? Oh, so I'll tell you in a minute what it is. Right, so my favourite ever machine is the Xbox One. It's kind of cheating, but why would you want to play games or anything else when you've got an Xbox One? And if I had to have 3 games all on the same machine for the rest of time, I'd have the latest version of Football Manager on the PC. I would have GTA 5 on the PC with all the mods. And hopefully by the time this happens, someone will have gone back and made a Football Manager patch so it's got all the correct data going all the way back to 1970. That would be a thing of joy. And the third game, Nick, you'll know about this. Can I play Xbox One games on the PC?
Some of them.
Can you play Forza Horizon 4?
Yes.
Right, there you go. Thank you very much. My third game is going to be Forza Horizon 4 on the PC. And I've had it from Nicky that that's actually a thing. Oh, yeah. Craig says, I was playing Punch-Out today on my Nintendo. God awful. Absolutely terrible. People play that. I can't see how you can play it. The nostalgia wears off within about 4 seconds for me. Phil Macker says, I've been under the duvet binge watching Houses Under the Hammer all day. Oh, wonderful. Pat Brady, I finished 72nd in the All-Ireland Space Invaders Championship in 1981. I actually was... Go on.
Can I interject just on the Homes Under the Hammer thing? For those that know, there's your stairs leading up to the bedroom. There's your stairs there leading up to the bedroom. And there you got your stairs leading up to your bedroom. Those who know. Josh knows because he sniggered.
Good old Dion.
Yeah, good old Dion.
Neil, Chimp is here. He's a fanny. He says,
me and Neil just played video games, Danny. Me and Neil, we just played. We played 2 games of FIFA today for the first time.
Yes, he's never played it in his life, and he hammered you.
No, I won both games 5-3. But in fairness to Neil, both were good games, and he's a lot better than you know. He had me believe he was some noob who just turned on a PlayStation and was playing with his feet. And no, he's quite good. No. He's quite good.
Does the boy have skills?
Yeah, he actually did. He did do some skill moves. I've been playing the game for about 12 years, and I still can't do skill moves. So fair play to him. But no.
So how many players? Once he started doing the skill moves, how many players did you have red carded?
I got 2. Actually, he got a man sent off in the first game, Jordi Alba, and I got 2 players sent off in the second game.
Were you losing at that point?
No, I was losing in the second game, but I came back to win in extra time, 5-3. Trezeguet had a bit of a blinder in that one, but no, it was good fun. And me, OG, and Neil are going to set up an ABW sort of trophy open cup at some point. So yeah, and anybody else who's on PlayStation who wants to join us will be able to do that. We're going to set something up this week. So yeah.
That's like the Europa. That's like the Europa League to the Xbox version of the Champions League.
No, it's for people who actually understand what you wouldn't know. So don't worry about it.
I'm just looking at my PlayStation 3 here and going, I think I made the right choice getting an Xbox One. That's what all the cool people are on.
PlayStation 3s in my bedroom. Focus paperweights. Right, Phil Macker says you can butt him whenever you want, Nick. He still thinks he's watching a podcast, don't you, Nick? You don't realise. He said this last time. I was sitting there thinking, I was just watching it, and I forgot, actually, I'm on. You can interrupt and call any of these 2 tits names. Phil Macker, Chucky Egg was my original BBC Micro favourite game. And then he says, macro or micro, I can't remember actually, it should be macro, because the thing was fucking huge. I had a BBC B32K. My dad got it from a bloke, Vartan, who owned Pear Tree Computers in Huntingdon. My dad says he gave it to us, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was left on the back of the van. And he said it was a collateral damage or whatever it is. Oh, we've got a new person, Ray Anderson. Actually, no, I recognise that flower.
Mr. Anderson.
Yes, right. Put your hand up if you want to go next on your thing that I've just done that has no name.
Nicky can go first.
Go on, Joshy boy.
No, Nicky can go first.
What?
Oh, okay, fine.
Nicky wasn't waiting.
Yeah, but he hasn't had a word with Edgeways yet.
Nicky, do you want to go next?
Yeah, go on then. If Kris will stop talking for a few
Josh,
minutes, say something.
Sit down, shut up. You've been overruled.
I remember first console I got for Christmas was the Mega Drive. And we got that with Sonic the Hedgehog and 1 and 2 Quackshot, which I got because that was my cousin's older console when he got a PlayStation 1, which I never knew existed back then. And that was good, but games were a lot harder back then because they were like they are in the arcade. They were designed for you to just keep dying and starting at the very beginning. Not like now when you just die and then you come back a few seconds later. But yeah, I remember getting that. And a Game Boy as well. The old, did anyone have one of those? The old big chunky ones with the horrible green screen? No? No one have one of those?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so I got that with loads. I've got that the same Christmas as well, so that was pretty nice.
Double
I didn't know I was getting that. Huh?
Double bubble?
Yeah. Well, my cousin wanted to sell all his stuff so we could buy a new PlayStation, so that's why my mum and dad used to buy all their old stuff. So
my mum used to buy next door's underpants.
Lovely.
Well, she didn't need them anymore, and I needed them, so
yeah, sweet.
Needs must.
Yeah. So I suppose what's my favourite console? I would probably say Xbox 360, because that just had the amount of games on that, and most of them were on PS3 as well. But I suppose what were we saying? Like your favourite 3 games? You say it would have to be on one console
because you're stuck on a desert island with Mesut Ozil, and you can only take one console. And I'd bring something that can't play Fortnite, otherwise he's going to steal it off you.
Yeah, we've got no Wi-Fi ever on a desert island, Danny.
No, you have Mesut Ozil on with his ears, and he picks up Wi-Fi. A little known fact, but actually 100% true fact.
Yeah. Well, I suppose, it's probably the same as you. I'd have to take an Xbox One because that can play all Xbox 360 games as well. So I just get most of the 360 games on it as well. You say I can only have 3, did you say?
Yep.
All right, well, I suppose I better whack Skyrim on there because that can just go on for hundreds of hours.
That was my 4th game.
Yeah, probably GTA 5. I suppose if I could play that online, because then I could just talk to people and tell them where I am, they can come and get me.
No online play, and
online play. Oh,
no, because then you can ask for help, and you and Mesut are stuck there. So it's you're picking games that got long gen. You can play for a long time.
Well, I play Forza Horizon 2 though. That's the better
2?
one. Well, that's in Europe. I don't like being in
2's fucking awful.
Australia.
That was set in Italy and France, wasn't it? Shit,
it's nice.
Fucking nonsense, boy.
Yeah, but Forza's supposed to be set in the UK, and that's all up in Scotland, and that's horrible up there.
I don't understand any of the road signs. They're all done in gibberish.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's your 3 games.
Yeah, well, if I have to have it on one console. If not, I'd pick on every different consoles, but...
Not allowed.
Not allowed.
Oh, there you go. Phil Macker has come in with I used to have a VIC-20. Kris, is that your mouse I can hear going? If people at home on iTunes listening to this with your earbuds in and you can hear that noise, it's at AFC Freddy 8. You can go and call him all kinds of names there. He should know better.
And I'll send you a picture of me like that.
He's waving nicely to you. He says, the VIC-20, then a Master System, then a Mega Drive, but the PlayStation was a game changer. I remember seeing one for the first time in HMV and just went, wow, ha, ha. Yes. Oh, here we go. Archie says Forza Horizon are the best. It is. I didn't like number 1, and so I stopped playing because I liked the original Forza, proper racing games, and I don't call it Forza either. Nonsense. And and 1 was rubbish, and then I skipped 2, went and played 3 in Australia and in Dollary Doos. Fucking loved it. Played the arse off it, and then I got number 4. Went on release date. I think it was November 2018. I played it for a month, and I haven't gone back to it since.
It's awful.
It's not right, is it, Josh? Unless Kris is not going to let you talk again. Go before he stops you.
It's fine. I've been doing it for years, having Kris talk over me. Many a podcast, but no, it's fine. First console, because I don't know what the 80s is, and you were just talking absolute bollocks for the past 19 minutes. I'm going to go with the PlayStation 1. I had no idea what you were talking about. PS1 was the first console. I think I got that in about 97. And then best console, though, it's going to be between my PS3 or my Xbox One. It's been, PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 had some cracking games on it. I'm going to go with the Xbox One because I'm going to be really cheeky with the next one. My PlayStation 3 is backwards compatible. So
cheeky.
So I'm having Crash Team Racing, the original on PlayStation 1, backwards compatible on my PlayStation 3. So I'll have that. I could put Skyrim as well, but Elder Scrolls Oblivion, that's the better one. So much better than Skyrim.
Those gates got annoying. Skyrim.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. It's 10 different gates. I get bored of that. Ratchet and Clank 3. If anyone's played any of those games, wonderful game. It's like
you can't play Skyrim on PS3 anyway, Josh, because it's still broken after 10 years.
Is it? I'm looking at my copy now. I got crossbows, and then it got.
Well, it had a thing where the longer you played, the more the bigger the save file got, and it just broke the game till it went to about 2 frames per second.
Oh, excellent.
They just didn't bother fixing it, so I thought, nah, sod it.
Oh, screw it then. So Crash Team Racing, Ratchet and Clank 3, and then I will go with... it's either going to be Star Wars Battlefront, the original version, not that bollocks reboot they did of it.
Jeff loves awful. That game.
Don't care. Sorry, Jeff. Deal with it. The second one's all right, but it's all about the original one that's on PS2. It's going to be either that or something like Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga, because those are just lovely games. But then you could do it out of all... you could do anything with Nintendo, any Nintendo ones, because I'd love to have Super Smash Brothers on there. For once, I'd have enough time to get good at it. Things like Mario Kart, Diddy Kong Racing, underrated game, Ray Anderson, who's just come into the box with that one. That Diddy Kong Racing, I put this out there because you've got to have a hipster opinion, even if it's not about football. Diddy Kong Racing is, definitely, is better than Mario Kart. Diddy Kong Racing, because you could be a boat, you could be a plane, and you could be a car, and you could blow other people up. What more could you want from that?
Well,
exactly. Silence.
So you're happy with that? That's good. Ray Anderson, he says he's been here before, but we all ignore him. So I'm going to read this out. He says, first console was an N64, then a PlayStation 1 and 2. Now I don't have any. Oh dear. Favourite game was Diddy Kong Racing on the N64. And could you stop calling it the SNES? There's no need for that. You fuckers abbreviate everything. SNES. You can say it while sneezing if you have the coronavirus, if you have COVID. I differentiate between the two.
They say Super NES, Danny.
That's even fucking worse.
I know. They're doing it. They're doing both.
Jesus.
They call it the Sega Genesis. What's that about? It's the Sega Phil Collins. What's that stupid name?
Don't you say anything about Genesis. I was watching a thing last night with the most annoying 3 dickheads in the world, but they had one of only 2 Sega Plutos that exist at the moment. Yes, looks like a right old load of shit. Here we go. We've got one here from Phil Macker. I love Tomb Raider and FIFA, but when I discovered Championship Manager, I only ever played that or FIFA, but gave up FIFA in the early noughties when it just became too difficult. We're going to read a couple of these and come to you, Kris, because he's talking about FIFA, and that is the game you excel at the least. Archie says, good times. Donkey Kong is one of the best franchises. Sai is here, and Sai says, when are we getting the After Dark episode? Well, Kris, John, and Jace did one a few days. I don't think we're naming them After Dark anymore.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. We didn't do an after. We talked about doing one. I think we were going to do one last night, but it just didn't come to pass. So I probably sometime in the week, I guess.
I think we'll do a Friday night one. That's what I last said to Jason. But Jason didn't listen, so you did one on Thursday instead.
I think, like you say, a Friday night would be good.
Yeah,
I don't like the After Dark things because I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I'm not a womanizer, and I don't have any dirty sex tales. So it's pointless me being there.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 of those are mine as well. Thank you very much. So
All right, chew your bones. And Archie says, FIFA since 98 has been terrible. Lol, nothing changes. Talking about complaining about FIFA. 3, 2, 1. Pirate, off you go, sir.
Well, I can't remember the question, so I'll do what I'll try and work my
console, 3 games on the same machine.
Let's do one at a time. Because I'm getting old and I can't remember.
Okay,
can't remember all the questions.
Right, your first ever gaming machine.
Right, first ever gaming machine. I've had to Google this. It was the Atari 130 XE.
Oh,
is that a fax machine?
I think it might.
It does look like one. If you look at it, had
it go.
Yeah. It was a keyboard. Google it. It's the Atari 130 XE. It had a keyboard like set up like a PC, and it had a tape deck which you loaded games in. Yes, I'm that old, listeners. Way before Josh's time, definitely. Probably before Nicky's time as well. But you literally put a physical tape in, and you pressed play. And the worst thing about it was the game would often take up to an hour to load. So if you wanted to play, just off the top of my head, Up and Away, which was a hot air balloon game where you had to go from one side of the screen to the other. It could take an hour to load. But the worst bit is, because this is before the days of the internet, if the tape didn't quite load or it ran out of time, or you had to press the keyboard to activate stuff, if you didn't do that, it crashed at like 59 minutes. You have to start the whole thing over again. So gaming in those days, you would literally have to dedicate a whole evening to setting up and waiting for it all to load. So you kind of start the tape and then go and cook tea and then come back. There you go.
That's all right, Chris, because, in that time you could have gone out with your little wheel and stick and knocked that across the road to kill some time.
That's also true, yeah. Or you could have put EA's hamster back in its wheel for an hour to run the servers. So,
what's the difference, Chris, when we've got to wait for 100 gigabyte update on Call of Duty?
There you go. And this is the modern world, isn't it? Nowadays, you just click, bang, and it does take a while sometimes with PS or Xbox, but that was the first machine I owned. Look at that. Absolute beast. Look at it. It was
fucking turd.
And it looks like an NHS keyboard.
It does. And the best thing is, if anyone robbed you, you pick that bad boy up, smack it over the head. I mean, it was a weapon. It was a beast. So that was my first experience of gaming. My first actual console was a Mega Drive. And God bless the Sega Mega Drive. And not the Genesis, like it was called in America. It was a Mega Drive. And it was the proper old-fashioned, not the new one. It was the old one, the kind of rectangular black with the circular port where you put the cartridge in. Games on that, I couldn't pinpoint. I mean, I just remember how many good games on that. Golden Axe, absolute classic. Road Rash. Road Rash was a wonderful game because you could beat the shit out of people on motorbikes with like nunchucks and baseball bats, and the soundtrack was a thing of beauty. I think it had Bulls on Parade from Rage Against the Machine as one of the soundtracks. Just a fire game. Golden Axe was great. Streets of Rage, the original, like Nicky said, the original Sonic 1, Sonic 2. There's thousands of Mega Drive games. Echo the Dolphin, strangely, was one of the games I loved the most because it was just so fucking hard. It was so difficult to get anywhere in it. And then in that era, I went to boarding school. I know, not through choice, I might add. And I was bought Game Gear to keep myself entertained under the sheets. That was before the days of wanking.
500 AA batteries.
Yes, was it 6? I think it was 6, 3 on each side.
6, and they would run out in about half an hour, 40 minutes. Yeah. So, but I was lucky. I was one of the cool kids who had an adapter. The only downside to that was I was on the top bunk of my because we had dormitories, we had bunk beds. So the cord wasn't quite long enough. So you'd literally have to lean over. It was quite the experience where you'd nearly fall out of bed. But if you did that, and the adapter, I'm not kidding, it was like a power pack like that. And again, it was like a brick. Do you remember when you were when you were doing swimming lessons at school and you had to go to the bottom of the deep end and pick up the brick and bring it back up? That was a power pack from a Game Gear. Little known fact. But yeah, and on that, I think that was the era when Mortal Kombat first came out, which was that was one of the first fighting games on the Mega Drive, which really hit it off. Street Fighter was known in the arcades, but Mortal Kombat was so much controversy about the blood in it and the fatalities and that.
So I remember getting that, and I remember having Sensible Soccer on the Game Gear as well, which was good fun. But yeah, there were the games. World Cup Italia '90 as well, and you'd score, and there'd be like just an image of a footballer like that running off, like a flat, like no image, no like moving pictures, just a footballer with his hand up, Shearer style, and it just go goal, and then you start again. So there you go. They were the games I remember. What was the next question, Danny? What would I take with me to an island?
If you can only take 3 games with you, they all have to be on the same machine. You can cheat like these two have, or you can not. You can play it properly.
I played properly. All my games are compatible with the console I took.
Fine.
I would take my PS4. I mean, PS5 is going to be cross-platform where you can play old games on it. But if I took my PS4, I'd probably take FIFA because I'm a psychopath, and I often like punching myself repeatedly in the testicles for fun, which is basically what playing FIFA is these days. It literally is like beating yourself. It's self-harm on a console, which is always fun. But yeah, so I probably would take that, but I'd probably turn off. Would I turn off online mode? I don't know, because I get bored with squad battles. No, I'd probably leave it as it is, but I want to rip my nuts off every time I play it. So I'd have to take FIFA just for the football content. 2 other games I'd take, Alien Isolation, because it's just so damn hard and it would take me forever to crack it. And I think I'm with Josh. I think I'd take one of the Lego series. I really enjoyed Lego Jurassic Park. But Resident Evil would be a very close on that, because the Resident Evil games are classics as well. So yeah, they're probably the games I would take. There's plenty of classics from the PS1 days or the PS2 days, but Jaws Unleashed on PS2 was another classic that I enjoyed. Just swimming around munching people, hours of fun. You wouldn't think it, but it was. But yeah, and there you go. And I was also one of the 4 people in the world to own a Mega CD. Do you remember those?
Yes, I do.
Somebody must remember.
Wonderful idea. Was it the Mega SCD 32?
No. The original Mega CD. The 32 was like the rebrand. The Mega CD was essentially a console that
stuck it on top.
Yeah, but it was the first compact disc gaming machine, and you put the Mega CD down, and you clamped the Mega Drive on top of the Mega CD, and there was a game in it called Night Trap, which to this day, easily 25 years later, I'm going to Google when Night Trap came out. That is one of the greatest games I've ever played. Essentially, like a game of you had to set up traps. Yeah,
it's on the Nintendo Switch now. If anyone wants to play it,
is it really? It was released on the 15th of October, 1992. Wow, Jesus, I'm old. But it was one of the first. It was essentially like a CCTV game. So you were almost like this setup we've got here now, where you have access to cameras throughout a house, and you had to set up traps to stop these random annoying American teenagers getting kidnapped essentially and put into traps, and you'd have to catch these guys dressed like ninjas from the Turtles, all in black, and you'd have to trap them. But it was quite a frightening game. It was one of the first first person camera games prior to Big Brother. So yeah, it was good.
And it's got girls in bras and knickers in it as well. I suppose that which 1992. So I would have been 9, probably a bit early for that for me. But looking back, it would have replaced the K's catalogue for adult.
To be fair,
it was one of those. It was basically. Sorry, go on, Danny.
I was going to say it was perfect time for me. I was well into tits then, Chris, because I was just coming up to about 1.
Milky.
Get out. Honestly,
we were all talking of that. We were all for Sean's 18th birthday. There was about 10 of us. All went to the local Chinese place, lovely place, Chinese Malaysian mix, and we're all sitting there. And my mum said to me, "Can you pass me some?" She said, "Can you pass me something?" And I jokingly went, "No." And she looked at me and she went, "I fed you milk." In front of everyone. So whenever they see me now, they'd say it in an Irish accent, "I fed you milk, you little bastard."
I'm seriously now. This is so
she was
looking at these screenshots of
that game.
God,
Night Trap was the first
there's a still
full motion video.
Yeah, that's it. Full motion video. And as Nikki points out, I'm just googling the images. They're scantily clad women. I mean, she's the knockers on that. Jesus. But yeah, cut that bit out. But no, it was a very risque game. Just before we move on, there's 2 TV. Shall I save it for TV shows about games that I want to bring up, or shall I bring this up now?
If they're game TV shows, say it now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Games Master, we all remember that, surely. Even Josh isn't old enough to not remember that, surely.
No.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Well, Danny definitely will. Surely you will. Patrick Moore. Patrick Moore was the Games Master. And it was presented by Dominic Diamond, if anyone remembers him.
He went mental, didn't he?
Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah, he was like the modern day Ian Sterling back in the days. Like he was the voice of everything. As my cat goes into the litter tray for a crap, probably. Good timing, Tom. But yeah, Games Master was good, and also there was a gaming show called Nightmare. I think this has been mentioned on the podcast before, but for those of you who haven't seen Nightmare, Josh, you won't have heard of this.
I know Nightmare.
I
know Nightmare.
Brilliant. Is that only because they brought it back a few years ago?
No. It's not something. My reason for seeing it, I'm not necessarily going to divulge on a podcast. Maybe an After Dark.
That's a shame. Yeah, we definitely need to revisit.
But let's just say the person I was with at the time is probably about older than you, Kris.
Okay, so basically, you were naked, just had a helmet on, and she was escorting you into which body parts to go to next. I get you. That's fine. Whatever you like, Josh. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, Nightmare was basically. School kids, bear with me here. School kids were invited onto this show with a guy who looked a lot like Jethro, who was the presenter. Hugo Weaving. God, my memory. He was the presenter, and he basically gave them like a helmet, not his helmet, just for legal purposes, a helmet which he put on like the kid, and it covered their eyes, and they got given a knapsack for food, and then it was a virtual reality game. So they got walked into various places like a forest, Robin Hood style, and everything that you saw watching the show was like virtual reality, and obviously they were green screen, but it was played by real life action actors. So you had there was like a dragon they had to sit on to fly across different realms, and there was a guy who was a jester. And basically, like, you would die if, say, for example, there was a room where the floor was falling in, and you have to solve puzzles, and if the floor fell in too fast, you would fall to your death. And it was for its day. Again, I'd say early 80s that came out. I'll Google that now. But yeah, that was a classic gaming show. Or other gaming shows. What was the Bad Influence? Danny, do you remember that?
Yes, that was with the bloke who took over from Philip Schofield, Andy something, did it on ITV.
Yeah, TV show. What was the guy's? How To, wasn't it? The guy who did How To, wasn't it? Wasn't he in it? I'm just looking.
Showing
no, Andy Crane and Violet Berlin.
Yes.
Yeah, Violet Berlin looked a lot like what was her name? The lady who passed away not so long ago. Peach's girl's mum. Yeah,
Caroline Flack.
No. What's the lady's name with the short hair? Oh God. Is it Peach's Geldoff's mum? Everyone's shouting at their podcast thing now, saying who it is. Oh look, it looks like Danny. It's like Danny with hair. Yates. What's it? Oh, Yates.
Paula
Yates. Yeah, look, she looked a lot like her.
Kris is everyone at home is playing along with Chris's memory lapses.
Oh, Danny, I have to look these things up. But yeah, Bad Influence was another good one. That was a bit more edgy. That was 1992. It was a little bit more risque in the afternoons on CBBC, I think it was. So ITV. Yeah, there you go. ITV. Okay.
Yes, and at the end of every show, you had to record the show, and at the end of every show, down the bottom of the screen, you'd have a load of stuff moving across the bottom of the screen, and you used to watch it. You have to watch it on. Oh, that's it. You watch it on pause.
Yeah, you had to pause it on the video to get the cheat codes, like level selects and stuff like that. Yes. Wow. We've moved on with our lives, but yeah, wow. Anyway, I've said enough. I shall rein myself in. I got excited. Sorry.
I'm going to share another screen with the wonderful listeners of. Hopefully, this will be the right one. Share. There he is.
There he is.
Crane.
Big craney. His hair looks quite similar to mine right now. That's quite scary.
Half Mrs. Blonde and across, and yours isn't. It's a complete opposite of your hair.
Well, yeah, but the hairline is definitely right up there with mine.
He's got a boggling.
He has got a boggling. Wow. You put your hand up then, didn't you? And yeah. Yeah. Do you remember that show, Nikki? Can you remember Bad Influence? Was that?
I remember. He looked familiar. Like I say, I'm so much younger than you. Like, I'm 34.
34. Okay, so you're only 3 years behind me. So that's, yes, it's probably roughly similar era. Obviously, Josh was still like, Josh's first TV program was probably like EastEnders.
Fuck off. I came from a decent household. Coronation Street.
I can't remember any other gaming shows. What was there any others?
Well, we had Bum Bandits with Ian Lee. You had Bum Bandits.
Bum Bandits.
Bum.
Oh,
Ian Lee did that. He did that. That was with Violet Berlin, and that was on channels like Dave or Bravo or something like that. And then you had the show that was on Sky One where you had Bad Boy Barry.
Yeah. That was more recent though, wasn't it?
Yes.
I would say Bamzuki, if anyone remembers that.
I remember that. Yeah. I remember that.
Never heard of it.
That was pretty close to gaming. It was like Robot Wars, but with even more autistic kids.
I mean, I'd say that. I suppose as one of us is a little bit autistic-y.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm not saying which one. Just could be, but just say it.
You can pick any of the four. Just pick one.
Yeah. So, is there any other thing, Kris? Do you want to have a little moan about FIFA and then say about the show that we did with Cripsy?
Well, I mean, we've probably plugged it enough. I'm sure people have listened if it dropped into their feed. But yeah, we did a show with Cripsy and we talked about how wonderful the modern day loot boxes and gambling for gambling promotion for kids basically is FIFA. No, it's difficult. It's difficult at the moment where people who like football games are in a hard place right now because we've got a choice of PES, which is a broken mess, or FIFA, which is an even more broken mess. PES is like the kind of the BTEC version of FIFA where it has some licenses but not all licenses. So and
got London Reds and things like that.
Yeah, it's not as bad. They've got the Juventus license this year, and they actually bought the license to the Euros this year, which whoops, that's not happening. But yeah, FIFA has got the monopoly on player likenesses and whatnot. And FIFA's just always been. FIFA International Soccer was the first one that I played in 1994 on the PlayStation 1, and I think Mega Drive it was. And it it has a lot of flaws, unfortunately, and it's a very toxic mess of a game when you play it online against these 12-year-old sweat lords in Ultimate Team mode. But yeah, I mean, for those of you that play it, you know what we're talking about. For those of you that don't, Cripsy, Aussie chap we had a chat to the other night, is a good person to watch. Friend of the show, Mr. McManus, is streaming FIFA on Twitch these days. You can watch him on there. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those games that it's very pay to win nowadays. If you don't put money into it, it's harder to get the best players. And it's a very, very frustrating game. No matter how zen you are, someone like Josh, who's very, very zen, I challenge anyone to not get pissed off with online FIFA gaming. It is impossible. It's so hard not to lose your shit when I played a game earlier on against a guy in FUT Champs. I lost 2-1. I was 1-0 up with 10 minutes to play. He equalised in the 80th minute. I could physically feel the game scripting going against me. I could feel the game turning. Of course, he got a 91st minute winner and ran off celebrating like a nonce. And of course, his Ter Stegen made 13 saves and of course I lost. So
what was that one where they scored 3 goals and had 2 shots on target though?
Oh yeah, that's the other day. Yeah. I lost 3-2 when he had 2 shots on target and won 3-2. Work that one out, people.
Sounds like you just need to be better at FIFA, Kris. To be fair,
I don't know how Man United beat us a few years ago when they beat a 3-2 and had 2 shots on target.
Exactly.
So it's like real life.
Do you remember the FA Cup final that we won on penalties when we literally didn't get out of our half the entire game? It's kind of like that, basically. But yeah, people continuously deny on certain EA apologists refuse to believe that there is scripting or momentum swings coded into FIFA. I would politely advise you to play a game of Weekend League and then come back to me and tell me that there's no scripting and no momentum swing in FIFA. DDA, as it's well known. Dynamic difficulty adjustment, basically where it gives your opponent who's playing with his feet and is absolute dog shit, it gives them the opportunity to score goals when you're winning the game 1-0 and you're clearly the better player. Josh has a point. I am a bad FIFA player. I freely admit I'm not very good at the game. But when you are comfortably winning games and then you just sit there afterwards with an expression like Edvard Munch on your face going, what just happened? That can't just be me.
You just referenced the screen painting.
Screen paint? What? Screen what?
Painting Scream. Wasn't that by Munch?
Yeah. No, it's the screen. It's the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the expression you have on your face.
Don't get arty with us, my boy.
Yeah, well, we've got cultured viewers.
17th century art.
We've got cultured viewers, Danny. Everyone knows what the screen painting
Kris,
is.
I haven't played FIFA since FIFA 10. As it's still doing all that ultimate. Well, someone who really likes football, I just can't be down with FIFA anymore. Football Manager, I just can't be down with that. I remember. Everyone knows the best FIFA game was FIFA 99, and Danny will find a picture of that to prove why. Yeah. But I remember when you took the free kicks, they took the arrows out.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. And then I got to a stage where I remember FIFA 10 was the last one I played, where it's got a stage where you just press B to shoot and you either tapped it and you may score, or if you held it and it just went out the stadium. So you either had 2 ways of shooting, and I'm just like...
Yeah. Do you remember the year where they brought in diving, where you could simulate... Do you remember that? Or you could literally fall over on command?
No, I don't think I ever got to that far. But I remember there was an old game on PlayStation 1 called Red Card where you were just deliberately... You got points and for basically deliberately kicking the crap out of people, including the referee. That was good. And obviously, that's the best FIFA game that's ever been made. And PES used to be good until, the people who make it Konami, they don't make games anymore, really. They're just making PES because they make pachinko machines in like Japan and Korea and all that. This will probably be the last PES either this year or next year. They're getting out of games, really. But apparently they might have sold off some of their properties like Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid to like other developers.
So they
which is supposed to be a secret. Yeah. Well, no, they just completely sold it off. As long as they can still use that in their pachinko machines, which is basically slot machines and gambling, but officially not, so because they're not supposed to gamble in a lot of those places. But as long as they can still do that there, but they give up the last few years. But with FIFA, all this Ultimate Team business, man, and paying for all these packs, I was just like, what a load of crap. I'm sorry, I just can't see the appeal. And then every year they just delete everything. And I know people that spend hundreds of pounds on that.
Yeah.
And then next year it all gets...
That's the issue. Until someone like PES sells their rights on to someone else who can make a proper game. The problem is EA Sports, who run FIFA, have the monopoly. Everyone... They know that every year, us degenerates who we spend the entire game cycle complaining about the game. That's all we do. We just complain about how shit the game is. But every single day at 6 p.m. when the new content comes out, we log in and go, "Oh, new shiny cards," and we all do it. And we're all idiots. But unfortunately, because it is the best football game out there, it's a little bit like saying crap is better than shit. Like it's still the worst mess of a game out there, But every year we cling on to the hope that they're going to make a good game. FIFA 17 pre-patch was probably the best FIFA we ever had. The gameplay was great. Last year, the meta was El Tornado, chaining Lacazette skill moves, cross to the back post where you score no matter what you did with a header. This year, it's all about one depth, drop back, everybody in defence, stack behind the ball, and sweating down the byline and pulling it back. And as Sai Anvesh has put in the chat there, 3-0 up in the 85th minute, lost 5-3 lost 5-3. I mean that is what you're dealing with. Literally, when the momentum goes against you, you can physically feel it. Like you're watching the game, going, okay, I've turned over possession on an attack. He's going to score, and literally within 20 seconds, you're sat there going, okay, there we go. There's the goal I saw coming. But we're all gamblers. We're all addicted. It is an addiction. The good thing about modern day FIFA is there's a lot of good streamers like Cripsy, Nick 2018 that I'm watching now. There's a lot of good streamers that you can get on board who can do what they call like a poor man road to glory, where essentially you don't put a penny into the game. You buy the game, fine, but you create your ultimate team based purely on what they call grinding. So you're grinding SBCs, you're creating packs for yourself. And occasionally, one in every 100 packs, you might get a good player you can sell, build your coin balance up and start building your ultimate team. But if you want to have the meta players, like the actual Ronaldos and Mbappés, people like me are just never going to have those cards because it takes an absolute fortune of money to make it to that stage. Whereas other games like Call of Duty or whatnot, sure, you can buy, or Fortnite, you can buy skins, you can buy on Call of Duty, you can buy loot, not loot boxes, what do they call battle pass?
Tell you on, Chris.
Yeah, but it's on very quietly. Sorry, I'll mute it in a second.
Kind of you.
But yeah, I've got 2 screens now, Danny. I'm in the modern age.
But hopefully that will change in the next few years, because obviously in Belgium and places in Europe, they're really clamping down on this because, I mean, me or you would probably be all right. We know what we're doing if they start asking us for actual money. But when these games when it says ages 3 up on the box and there's sort of gambling mechanics and that, and they're really going into that to try and basically pull them in on that, because they did do a thing. And FIFA, I think FIFA done it this year, and a few other game companies where they've put a thing on the box to say if it's got microtransactions in it, the people who do like Peggy ratings and stuff, there's another little thing that says if that's got that. But this year, I think FIFA done it and a few others where the first month they didn't have that, then they patched them in. But all the games that they've already sold in the first month, which is a big majority, didn't have that little sticker on them.
Didn't have that.
So they say, well, technically,
exactly.
and the people who, like Peggy and all the people who do all the ratings for games and stuff like that, so they're like, oh, well, we've updated our website. So they don't really care. So if they don't govern themselves, it'll be like it was in the 90s where the government will step in and they'll come down hard, not just on that. They'll come down on all video games, and then they'll just like try to make, scapegoats out of everyone's games. Then they'll want to ban Call of Duty and stuff like that. But we've got that to look forward to.
I mean, they should ban Call of Duty anyway because it's a terrible franchise.
Yeah, I played it last night.
Franchise.
I played it last night.
The problem with gaming, I'll get your opinion on this, Josh, as well. I think the problem with modern day gaming now, I mean, FIFA have been forced, like Nicky was saying, FIFA have been forced to put pack probabilities now, and like they've got a fat birthday promotion at the moment now. You go and look at packs, and the percentage will be under 1%. So it could be 0.1%, or it could be 0.9%. But they're very cleverly covering that up. And I think the problem with modern day gaming you've got now is the minute you buy a game and it has an online capability where you are actively competing against others online to get better rewards or to get better income for your account, your game, you introduce competition, you introduce a competitive mode, you've got a problem, because it only takes people a quick YouTube browse or a quick Reddit forum or basically no lifing the game, which is where you might be, you might not need to work for a living, or you might be very young, you might be a kid who just plays games all day, and you can very quickly work out what the broken mechanics of a game are and how to abuse those mechanics to make sure that you get the best rewards. And unfortunately, online gaming now is a very toxic place. It's very easy to send somebody abuse. I should know because I do it regularly.
And didn't you recently get banned for it, suspended?
I did get a warning the other day for being a little bit toxic. But unfortunately, that's what the games companies want. They want to drive you into a position where you get frustrated at the game. You think, oh, there's my credit card. Oh, I'll just buy that extra player. And then you're into this sort of Vegas casino style of gaming. Do you think that's the case, Josh?
I think it depends. I think it depends on the games you're playing, to be honest.
Yeah.
So FIFA, I haven't played properly in 4 months, possibly. Yeah. I've played a couple of clubs games with the proper ABW clubs group with Ellis and Stefan and Akib. I mention everybody on there will be here forever, but. Yeah, in terms of that kind of play to win, things like Rocket League, where there is no benefit to it, have completely revamped their looting system. So now you can see explicitly what you get, but now you basically do have to pay to kind of win with a kind of season pass. But then I think when you kind of look at it, the reason why I think everyone's so pet up about like FIFA is because the game's 60 quid on a face value. Something like Fortnite's free, and there's no advantage to you paying for it. But kids who've got, I remember seeing this across like Christmas and Black Friday, is kids have got, their pocket money, whatever it is, £10 a week or something. They can go and buy a new pickaxe on, on Fortnite for that. For a tenner, and that's what they want to do with their money. I remember I used to get Lego or football stickers, and they were a tremendous waste of money. Panini football stickers. Yeah, you might look at it with nostalgia, but yeah,
you say that, Josh. I've got mine from 1982. I've got 2 books every year to 2000. Those books now, some of them worth a couple of £100 a book.
Yeah, whereas your Ultimate Team account is worthless, like Josh said at the end of every season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you kind of on those, it still costs you what, £600-700 to put each year's book together in terms of Panini stickers. If you complete it as well. Yeah. Some people haven't got completed football stickers. Like I've got half-assed Ultimate Team squads back in FIFA 16 or FIFA 18. They've got Ultimate Team squads in there. One of them's like 3-0 Walcott was one of my team names. Remember that classic? But at the moment, I think probably my most played game is Sea of Thieves, and you can pay for that if you want. But Sea of Thieves is just a beautiful game. Everybody should just play Sea of Thieves. Fuck off FIFA. Just play that. It's a beautiful game. It's basically like all your Nintendo games.
Josh, did you ever play the new Battlefront games on Xbox and that?
Yeah,
Did you hear about how they set, especially 2, which is one of the ones that, like the straw that broke the camel's back? Did you hear why they got in trouble with that?
I didn't. I played the first one. I bought the first one because I wanted it. I wanted that nostalgia of the first and second one. And as soon as I bought it, I realized it was all online. And I was like, well, I wanted offline split screen play, exactly as you got. You could go around all the planets. You could sit down with your mates, and I just wanted that, but multiplayer online.
Well, if you buy the second one, you might get that, but I bought that for about £5. But they got in trouble with that because you know how you play what you call online matchmaking, where they'll use their data to match someone of your skill level with other people of similar skill levels, so you just don't get smashed all the time. Yeah, that's what they should do. But they decided what we'll do is we will basically have pay to win, and if you pay money, you will get all the good guns. You can't earn them without spending thousands of hours to do it, but they would deliberately match you with people who had spent money, and when you get absolutely annihilated in the game, keep spamming you, do you want to buy this, do you want to buy this, do you want to buy this? And I just thought, oh, that's a bit naughty, and they got in trouble. They deleted a lot of that stuff, but I actually bought it because I think it was like £5 on a CD keysing just to see. I was playing that game for 15 minutes, and I was at the start, and I was just opening loot boxes. I didn't actually shoot anything.
And that's the problem where, in my experience, that's the problem you get with when you bleed it into FIFA and this gambling thing is if you don't have the best players, like we're in March now, if you don't have a team that is very rarely do you come up against a weekend league squad, which is just base gold players. There's SBC players all over the place. There's high end, like literally everyone is running around with an Mbappe and Messi and Ronaldo. If you don't have those players, you've got to be fucking good at the game to compete. Now, if you're a top 100 player, you're a streamer, you're a content creator, and you there's guys on who can take squads in silver squads, bronze squads, who are just so good at the game, doesn't matter to them. But if you're at the level like where you say you just spend a couple of quid and you think, oh, we're in isolation, let's just buy FIFA and start an account again. If you're not good at the basics, or you're not good at knowing what the broken things are in the game to take advantage, you will get smashed every single week, and there's no enjoyment. If you just like playing offline, no problem. But if you want to play online and you want to get the best rewards, and this is the other issue as well, those top 100 players are going top 100 every week, and they're getting the same or worse rewards than somebody who just barely makes it into the top reward structure. They open their packs and they get the same rewards. And it's like, hang on a minute, I've busted my nuts to get 30-0 as it may be, and you get nothing from it.
So why do you bother?
Well,
that's why I stopped playing it after.
Because it's an addiction, Danny. If you watch, they're getting. I mean, this is basically it's the same company, Electronic Arts. Whereas you actually saw the basketball game they brought out last year with the ad. They show like the trailer. Oh, this is the new basketball game, like NBA 2K20, whatever that was. It looked like a casino. It was just like roulette wheels going on and off. That's why they're getting, and it is the same company, EA, they're getting in trouble because they're not actually saying what the odds are. I don't play them because I just think they're stupid and a bit of a mugs game, like fruit machines and stuff like that. If you look where you put the money in, that little bit of writing, if you read that tells you how much you've got to put in and the percentage you've got of winning. And if you can read and you read that, you think, why would anyone put money in it? It's a pointless exercise. And this is the same with them. But the problem is it's not governed. And whether they say it or not, FIFA, Call of Duty, a lot of these games, they are aimed at kids, at youngsters. And that's going to give them an addictive sort of personality where they've got to have the new thing. I mean, Josh, you were saying like kids when they play FIFA and not FIFA, Fortnite. Well, there was a bit going around at the start of the school year where kids were getting beat up in school, getting called default because they had default characters in Fortnite. And when you actually work at Danny love it, but don't love kids getting beat up. Obviously, he just thinks it's funny. Maybe he does. I don't know.
Danny probably does.
But if you actually look at Fortnite and Apex are probably the biggest two games. If you work out, if you bought all the season passes and stuff like that, you're probably paying £200-300 a year for this game anyway. So for a £50 game, which used to be, it's 50 quid. But that's where they say, what people say these games are, they're free to play. But if you want to play them properly and how they want you to play them, you better get your credit card out. And yours, not your mum and dad's.
And especially with a game like FIFA, you play. Yeah. If you want the Ultimate Edition, i.e., you're a FUT player, even if you want the Standard Edition, you're talking 70 quid for the game, full stop. I mean, I'll put my hands up. I'll honestly say I've probably spent 500 quid on the game this year when you add it all up. And
something else.
Albeit that's over a period of since it was released in September. I'm not saying I've just gone, hey, 500 quid. I spent 100 quid on the game initially, which is the Ultimate Edition where you got the extra bonus packs each week, which basically are all filtered to have shit in them anyway, but at least you've got something you can sell on.
And you know all this before you do it. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you know it. You know it. And I've deliberately stopped buying stuff now. But at the start of the game, if you don't put a couple hundred quid into it, unless you've got 24 hours a day to grind the game, or if you don't work, or if you're comfortable financially and you can sit and game all day, you can't. And that's why some of the content creators have started to do things now where they're doing like dad glories and student glories. So they're basically saying 2 hours a day they stream and they go, right, these are the 2 hours that you would get in your lifestyle. So you go to work 9 hours a day, you get 2 hours in the evening because you're a dad, you're in a relationship, whatever. These are your 2 hours a day. Let's see how much we can build up. And they show people how to beat the game. Well, EA don't want that. They want you to come home and go, oh, I've had a shit day at work. I just want to play some FIFA or some COD or whatever. Let's put 50 quid into the game. That's what they want you to do. And that's the quick fix. And there are kids out there that their parents, like, they don't give a monkeys. They said that, like you said, Nicky, they just give them their pocket money, or Josh said, okay, what's your pocket money? 50 quid a month. Okay, I'll put it into Ultimate Team. Bosh, gone.
I know some
Whereas
people
we were
there.
growing up, we just buy trainers,
The kids got £100 each for Christmas, and they're both, I think they're about 7 or 8 years old, and they both went on and on and on at the parents until the parents allowed them to spend, each of them spend their 100 quid each on Fortnite. If that had been Sean, Dad, can I spend? No. No. But you'd say one more time, the disc is coming out and going in the bin, or the game's getting turned off as it was. In fact, I was so mean to her when with Grand Theft Auto, I hid the disc so she couldn't play it until she was 17. That's how bad it was.
Did anyone see that thing with Ferdinand? Was it just after or just before Christmas? That thing he done where
attention seekers.
Yeah, well, basically they're trying to put all this on the parents and saying your parents have got to take this online course to be aware of what their kids are spending, and they've got to stop them doing it. I'm like, no. If it says ages 3 and up on the box, kids of 3 cannot have bank accounts and cannot buy stuff online.
So we all know people, shitty parents that have got kids that are playing GTA 5 and they're 8 years old. I've known a few of them. I go, well, you shouldn't be doing that. No, it doesn't matter.
This is a game with gun crime, prostitutes, and
I would say that's more now than back in the PS2 because they were sort of crappy, cartoony graphics.
Now,
but now that's like, that's a bit
live
rough.
action.
If you're sitting at home, if you're playing Grand Theft Auto 5 and you've got a hooker in the car and mum walks in, oh dear.
But the parents won't say no. And so, like I say, every story I have is based around Sean because I don't have a life. But she says to me now, she's 21, she says to me, you were really strict with me growing up. I said, yeah, it was what I say, no arguments. And if you did argue, you'd lose something. And if you argued again, you'd lose something else. She said recently, you were right with what you did. I see some of her people that she deals with at schools and things that she's never going back to. They're just little bastards. And the parents won't say no because you've got parents of our generation, Chris, where their parents were shitty, so they're shitty. So then they have kids and then they're shitty parents. So it's just endless circles of, whatever's fucking easiest. Yes, little Johnny. Yes, here's my credit card. Go and spend what you want. The next thing you know, they're on the back page or on the middle page of the Sun. Oh, my son spent £5,000 on my credit card. Oh, I don't know how it happened. Well, first of all, he shouldn't be playing a fucking game like that, you fucking moron. And you deserve it. We could go on about this all day. I just want to move on slightly. What are you playing at the moment? Josh, you go first.
Literally right now, I'm playing Football Manager on my iPad because Chris has been talking. And I'm currently getting incredibly annoyed at the MLS who don't break up for international breaks. So I've got to pull out 90% of my squad to play Vancouver. What the fuck? Oh, that's Minnesota I'm playing. Yeah. I hate the MLS for that. Just break up. Come on. All my players are international. Even US international players. No, sorry. Your goalkeeper, your centre-backs, they're all gone. Your striker, you kind of keep that. To be fair, one of them, I've got Josh Maja. He's gone to Nigeria. That's probably better for him at the moment because he has been awful. It's been awful for me.
I had worse than that, Josh. For Football Manager 2010, I had a patch that took it all the way down to not pyramid level 14. I started off at level 13 with Manchester Rovers. At that stage, you're playing the Huntingdonshire Cup, the Cambridgeshire Cup, and another local cup. When I took those to the Premier League, I was still playing in all 3 of those competitions: the Champions League, the League Cup, the FA Cup. And so at the beginning, you're going, well, hold on, I'm playing the game every 2 days here, but they should have. Is that all you're playing?
No, Sea of Thieves, which is the game I was just talking about. Xbox One.
Is it good? Is it free?
Yes. Well, if you've got Game Pass. Or it's, I think, it's going to be like 15, 16 quid now. It's not that expensive. It's quite an old game.
I don't buy games now. Nicky was playing Call of Duty last night, and I went and had a look. and on the PC, on the Xbox, it was 49 quid, and on the PC, I think it's 59 quid.
No, I mean, I'm on Game Pass Ultimate now with my Xbox, so I don't need to buy any games because there's enough in that catalog. I mean, I get all the Microsoft exclusive; they go straight onto there.
It's called the new Call of Duty.
No, I don't care. No, because it's going to be EA Access, isn't it, for Call of Duty? And I don't play any of those games apart from FIFA. And when FIFA comes out, I've got a discount code for EA Access somewhere that will then give me 10% off or like a month's free. So I can get money off FIFA. But I won't buy another game this year or ever, really, because I'll just wait for stuff to come to Game Pass. 2 Point Hospital just came on there. Could play that for... I've been playing that for a bit.
Do you know how good I am? If there was an Olympic World Championships for that, I would be gold medal all fucking day, every fucking day. I just bought both of the new DLCs for that. I've not played them yet. I've been going through all the Superbug things. You played that on the PC?
No, I play on my Xbox One.
Poverty.
Yeah, no, it takes me a while to get round.
Any questions? I am godlike at that game.
I will ask you when you're ever online. I will hit you up on that. What else am I playing? Disney Plus. That's a good game at the moment.
You completed it, yeah.
Nearly 680 episodes of The Simpsons. Can't wait. Isolation hasn't hit soon enough. All 30 seasons on there.
With that, you'd have to wait until retirement starts before you finish it.
I think somebody said to me it was 10 days without any... No, 10 and a quarter days without any sleep to get through all 30 seasons of that.
Drunks are bad kids.
I reckon I could do it.
That's like pure crack, isn't it? That's
I know, right? Yeah, I mean, in some of those days, you have to go through the shit seasons of The Simpsons when they went a bit off, like when they got rid of Conan. Yeah, and there's some other bits and pieces that... what else have I been playing? There's the occasional ones I'll go back to, like Overwatch. I paid 15 quid for that. That's not... can you pay for that?
Pay for play, I think. No.
I think no, because the only thing you can gain out of it is skins. If you shit, you shit in that game.
Sounds and graffiti. I'm really good at that. I play as Bastion, and I just sit there and I kill everyone. I'm surprisingly magnificent at it. I
have a Lego Bastion just there when my fingers point in. Right at the back.
Hold on, you keep pointing. Do that again. Hello.
There.
It's amazing that Josh is in isolation and hasn't had time to put away his pajamas that are on the floor.
They are that side on the sofa.
Don't give it away. Don't give away the magic.
There's a lot of stuff there.
Nick,
to be fair, that's all I've done.
I thought you'd finished, and then you finished. Good.
Sorry.
Nick, what are you playing at the moment?
Well, obviously, because, well, you guys know I stream pretty much all my games on Twitch the last year. And I'll just go, because I've been typing in on my Twitch channel what I've played, because I have like a poll up there. So I just put a load of games on there and then people pick them and then I play them next. So obviously I played Sonic Adventure 2, which is a Dreamcast game, terrible. Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City before that. Far Cry 5, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Tekken 2, and Bloodborne, and before that I did Shenmue 1, 2, and 3. So most of them, apart from Dragon Ball Z, are like older games and Shenmue. But I'm getting the new Resident Evil 3 remake on Friday, if the postman delivers it, because they put out that because of the corona and all that, like post could be delayed. So I think they print a lot of those off in Germany. There you go, he's found it. And obviously, I mean, Resident Evil is still my main game. So in between this, I'm always playing like the old Resident Evil games from the PS1, like Resi 1, 2, and 3 and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm always playing games, but not FIFA.
Can't say I blame you. And I keep moaning.
I'll tell you a story. I think it was FIFA 18 or 19. I actually found a copy of FIFA on the floor, brand new and sealed in like a game bag. I was like, oh, and Mum said, lovely. I went, I don't even want to play that for free. So I actually walked that back to the game shop because I was up the city there. So I walked that back to the game shop because I had the receipt still in the bag. So I said, Mum, well, there's some kid's little bloody game probably. And I walked in there and I was handing it over to the bloke. And as I was handing it over to the bloke, the kid walked in with their parents and said they'd lost it. Oh no, this man now handed it in, and he was ever so happy. Don't vote on games, Danny. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, lovely.
Oh yes, what a game! I'll say another one, Danny. For you.
I'll give you the link.
Another one for you, Danny, to play on your Xbox. Bad North. It's just coming to Game Pass. That's a good one.
Yeah. That My Time in Porsche's on Game Pass as well, Danny, because you played that for a while, didn't you?
My Life in Porsche.
All right, my time, I get it's close.
Oh, yeah, my time. Yeah, my time. Yeah.
Also, there is Train Simulator. I forgot I played that last night. That's good. Real-time Train Simulator.
I've also got Farming Simulator, but I'm obviously not going to play that for reasons.
I bought that. I paid actual money for that one.
It's therapeutic, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Of course, I'm going to drive from Paddington to Reading in real time.
What happened to Dreamcast? But what happened to Dreamcast was they decided to get out of the game business because PlayStation came in and weren't kiddie like Nintendo or like arrogant like Sega and just went to the older generation rather than kids. So they just pulled out of making consoles altogether and just made crap Sonic games, really.
Amazing fact about Dreamcast. Released in the UK, 14th of October 1999. Cancelled 31st of March 2001. Less than a year and a half.
A former Arsenal.
For one of the greatest machines ever.
Yeah. Well, my dad bought me one. So.
Like modelling it. Do you remember that? The Petit and Adams in the home and away shirt next to it? Yeah, I still remember that.
I thought it was cool. Like the home shirt had Dreamcast on it, and the away shirts had Sega. I mean, that's old now because I was a lot smaller and skinnier then. The old gold one with like when Wiltord scored, but then obviously the Sega thing fell off. But did any of you guys used to do? I mean, my dad was one for that where if anything was sponsored by Arsenal, like he bought me a Dreamcast, but I didn't even ask for it because sponsored by Arsenal, he had like the JVC TV. He literally cut his he cut his Vodafone SIM card in half when they sponsored Man U and went out and got O2.
Yep. To this day, I still won't have Vodafone.
No, I won't. Man U, I won't touch that.
You can tell. So I was going to say, you could tell who my parents supported because they just fed me Holston pills.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would always have it. I went to O2 because they were associated with Arsenal. I wouldn't have a contract with anybody else.
And now with Sky.
You bought no Under Armour stuff, have you, Chris?
God, no. I mean, Under Armour stuff's a bit shite anyway. But that's the only downside. I've always been Nike over Adidas. I'm feeling a bit conflicted right now. But I do have some books. I feel a bit dirty. But for a period when I was younger, definitely I wouldn't buy anything that wasn't Arsenal related. No chance.
That's the way it was. That's why they dragged us in. Chris, what are you playing at the moment apart from FIFA?
I think FIFA is the majority of my time, not going to lie. Alien Isolation is one I go back to quite regularly. As I say, it's based on the film. It's essentially the story of what happened to Ellen Ripley's daughter in the film that was never made. So it's set between the events of Alien and the events of Aliens. It's kind of set in between the two. Quite a good audiobook as well if you've got an audio subscription, you like your sci-fi. But yeah, it's a really good game because there is basically one alien and it's based on the AI it's got a very intelligent AI. So you can't kill the alien, essentially. Your character, you have to hide from it. And you have to stop you have to slow your heart rate down. If you move around too loudly, the alien will find you. If you shoot a weapon, the alien will know your location. Sometimes you have to use like noisemakers to get the alien to go to other people to kill them before you can move on. But the AI is different every time. So every time you load into a level, the alien will be in a different spot every single time. It's a different place. So there's never the same death twice.
Is there an option to go and say to it, look, what do you want?
Unfortunately not. No, unfortunately not. Or you can use your flamethrower if you. But again, you have to. The flamethrower fuel is not always in the same place every time, so you have to find it, and you have to build individual things and the motion tracker. And I've seen streamers play it on.
Is this like Slender Man, but for Alien?
Very similar, yeah. And you have to build like I've seen streamers play it in nightmare mode, which is where the motion tracker, famous from the film, malfunctions. So in like lower difficulty level, you constantly can see where the alien is, but it blips, and that draws attention to itself. But in nightmare mode, there's fewer save points, and the motion tracker only works at certain times. It malfunctions, so it's incredibly hard. I did play Lego Star Wars again the other night. I've realised I'm crap at that, so I kind of
there's a pattern forming here.
Yeah, I'm crap at games. Jurassic Park Lego is great fun. I'm quite good at that, and that's just fun. The Resident Evil, the original, I downloaded like the PlayStation 4, but in PlayStation 2 and 3 graphics, like the original first Resident Evil 1 and 2. They're classics. Love those games. Have played the UFC games, but I'm not very good at those either. The WWE games have gone down the pan. So yeah, it is probably just like FIFA and the occasional platformers. I did download COD because it was free, and I am terrible. I mean, it literally takes me half an hour to aim my weapon, let alone fire it and kill anyone.
I was watching Nick playing this last night, and he was shooting down at people's feet and wondering why he was getting shot in the head.
It's incredibly difficult. It's incredibly difficult. If I'm fair play to people who can play COD at a high level, like you see, like Dr. Disrespect and people like that who are playing it for a living, and they are fucking amazing at it. And they do these.
To be fair, this new COD is cross-play with all like the PlayStation, Xbox, and the PC. I was playing with a lot of people with keyboard and mouse, so obviously they're a lot faster to move about. But no one buy the new WWE game this year. Did you got? I mean,
it's all scripted, isn't it? That's the problem.
And
I'll tell you worse than that, because this is the first year where the people who made pretty much since the first decent SmackDown games on PS1 and PS2 Ukes, they've basically, the people who made it have gone off and done their own thing, and the people like, we've got to make a game. What can we make a game? We don't own any of like the graphics engines or stuff. They said, what have we got? Oh, we've got this old PS2 one we used in 2000. Yeah, just chuck that out there. So don't. If someone give it to you, give it back to them and say
they recorded, didn't they? Because it was so bad. It was so brilliant.
They didn't care when people bought it. They just lowered it to about 10, 15 quid. I think they took it off. Yeah. They said they were going to fix it, but they haven't really.
The thing I hate about it is, or the modern day, because I still like my WWE, the thing I hate about the new games is that it's gone very Mortal Kombat, where literally you have to press up, down, left, right, R1, R2, circle, circle, square, backwards to punch. And it's like, no, I can't. Like I say, I can't do skill moves in FIFA. There's no chance I'm going to be able to perform.
Yeah, but Chris, you're talking about Mortal Kombat. If you want to do some fatalities in Mortal Kombat, you can always buy a pack of easy fatalities where you can just press one button and it'll do it for you. I don't play Mortal Kombat anymore.
I've clearly been missing out. That's what I should have been doing all those years ago. But
you're going to pay like money to do that.
Basically, what I'm saying is any game that involves any skill, I'm out.
You not seem to play games that you're not good at. Well, I play FIFA. I'm shit at it. I don't play it anymore. Forza Horizon 4, I'm magnificent at. So I play it, but I've not played it in a while. But
this is the frustration this is the frustration for modern day FIFA players like myself. We want to get better at the game. No. That's what I'm saying. We want to improve. No, but I'm saying we want to improve at the game. We want to get better at the game, and we want to have an opportunity of playing a game where we can get better at it. We actively want to do that. When the game is so broken,
it's like going to a casino and complaining that you keep picking your favourite number and it's not coming up on the roulette wheel. That's because it's rigged. You're never going to do it, so stop doing it.
But we love football, so we want to play a game. We want to play a football game. We want to play a game that allows us to play the game and potentially get better at it. That's what we want to do. So we're forced down this tunnel of doom where we have to play a game that's crap, or we can't play football at all.
Go back and play old ones that you liked.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's not the same without the modern day without the players that are now. You know,
it's better. You can play as Bergkamp.
I mean, there is that. Yeah,
In FIFA 99 on PlayStation 1, put it in a PS3, go into the options, put everyone, all their skills level to max 100%, and then play goalkeeper rush goals. Just get the goalkeeper, press L1, and got to dribble through the whole team, and only goalkeepers can score. There you go.
I heard
that's better than any FIFA game.
I heard there's a version of FIFA where if you foul someone, you're going to get a red card. You can run away from the referee, and he can't catch you, and so you don't get the red card.
Oh, that was sensible soccer.
Was it?
Yeah,
that was sensible soccer.
And in FIFA, you could do it years ago. Yeah, if you just ran away from the referee, he would never catch up to you, and you'd never get booked. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Top hunter that was.
If anyone would like
go on, Josh.
So I was going to say, if anyone would like an update, I beat Minnesota 2-0. Goals from one for you, Danny. Zednek Ondrusket. I don't know. He currently plays for him. Polish target man, and Conrad De La Fuente with the other goal.
Oh, good Conrad! Yeah, I love
what
that.
Season is that in?
If you can tell me where he is. What season is it? I think I'm in 2021. No, June 2020.
Is Justin Hoyt still playing for Minnesota? I think one of the Hoyt brothers was there.
Oh, yeah, one of them is.
I thought he was at Dallas.
No, it's not at Dallas.
Oh, I thought he was at Dallas.
Unless I sold him. Justin Hoyt is at Colorado Springs at the moment.
Oh, he's dropped down.
In my game.
Ouch.
He's retiring. What's his staff attributes like? Oh, he could be a director of football. Not for me though. Two star. No, sorry, Justin. If you're watching, probably are. Did you know he's got 18 caps for Trinidad? Get that out.
Yeah, he changed from. I think he played some England under 21s and under 20s, and then through parentage went and played for them.
18 caps. Impressive.
Trinidad and Tobago, I could get 18 caps. Apart from White York, I don't think they've ever had anyone who's any good. Oh, Xhaka Islop, didn't he play for them?
Yeah, he was there. He's their ambassador to this day. Shaka.
Kenwyne Jones.
Kenwyne Jones, Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. And there was that guy. What was that guy that played for the lower leagues? Forget his name. Was something? He was a like just a guy from from like Rochdale or Brentford or something, and he got in their side in the World Cup. I can't remember his name. Somebody will look it up. But yeah, he was in there as well.
Anyway, I was going to say what I'm playing at the moment. I've just bought the new DLC for Hospital 2.0, which is the successor to Theme Hospital. It's magnificent. They've just brought out one where you've got to do it in a very green-handed way. Very green. No, what's it? When you're green, when you're doing like recycling and stuff. Environmentally friendly. There you go. All the words are in there. It's not coming out. I'm playing War Thunder, which is I don't like war games really, but I'm only doing the planes. One bloke said unless you spend about £10,000 on that, you're never going to get all the stuff. I have spent not a single fucking shiny penny. I've done about 300 hours in it, and I kick ass at it. I always finish top 3 because I'm very, very good at it. But it's decided since the last update, my PC will crash whenever I start playing it. My PC, the fans go like there's a Hoover in there, and it goes mental when it crashes. So I've not played that in a while. My Life in Porsche, or My Time in Porsche, which is a very kind of Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing kind of game.
That sounds like a film on John's DVD list. Not My Life in Porsche. Yeah, definitely. That's suspicious. That one.
They never did find Porsche, did they? He was last seen at the disease clinic having a scrape. What else am I playing? I've got the previous Football Manager, but it's just so much to do now. And also there's someone I follow on Twitch called Kimmy Minx. She knows nothing about football. She's up there up in Rotherham. I know.
Does she know about putting things in her pants or like vibrating things?
Pull your eyes out. Okay. And she's just checking. She's never played Football Manager in her life. And we all think, well, to play Football Manager, you've got to know. She knows nothing about football, never played it in her life. She's taken Leeds from the Championship to the Premier League in her first season. And after about 6 seasons, she won the Premier League. Knowing nothing about football, or formations, or tactics, or players.
We know nothing. Just goes to show it, doesn't it?
There you go. The more you think you know, the more it hinders your actual ability. Oh, here you go. Michael in Sweden says the games I'm currently playing are Hades, Stellaris, and Apex Legends. There you go. I don't think I'm playing anything else. No, I dabble with Skyrim, but I've got some of the mods for it now, and I've got headphones, and I sit there and I shit my pants when the rain and there's monsters and there's people behind me. I can't play it. I get too scared. So imagine playing something like Alien Isolation if you had headphones on. You would poo your pants. I couldn't do it.
That's the whole point of the game, is playing it in the dark with headphones. And then, that's the whole part of the game.
I've been tempted to get Call of Duty because it's got all the Modern Warfare 1 and 2, some of the best maps from there. And even to this day, I've not played those games in 10, 15 years. I know every inch of every map in the first 2 games. And so I haven't got the reactions of a flea like some 7-year-old playing on there. But what I have got is tactical awareness and a photographic memory of all the maps on there. So I camp.
So in other words, I was going to say you are the classic one death drop back sweat lord who just camps and waits for somebody to walk in and blows their brains out. Yeah.
When they come back,
you are the guy that makes me want to put my controller through my nutsack every single night, basically. Yeah.
But I'm good.
That's you.
I hide, but I don't snipe though. None of that. I mean, with sniper rifle, I don't do any of that shit. Those fucking quick scopers, they need shooting. I don't know if that's allowed anymore. But yeah, again, they won't change it because people want to do it, and although it kills the game, doesn't it, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely kills the game. I confirm that much.
We had intended
the story mode. I haven't played online Call of Duty since Black Ops 1 in 2010. I said saying to Danny last night, I was playing it last night because someone said you want to play, and it's exactly the same. Nothing. Even the graphics even looked worse than they did in 2010.
Foggy, didn't they?
Yeah.
They missed. All right. We had planned to talk games, films, and TV, and I thought, how are we going to fill an hour and a half with that? We've done it an hour and a half just on games. So guess what? The next podcast is going to be, people. It's going to be films and TV. We don't have to do them now.
We're doing that, are we?
I only came here to talk TV and films.
We can get you back for the next one, Josh.
Oh.
You
can even wear your pajamas if you want.
Thanks. I probably will next time.
I feel like we could bleed a little bit more out about games if you wanted to. I feel like we could, but I'll leave that.
If you want, do another 10 minutes.
Danny's got a date with Mike and Andy.
That's not till 10 o'clock though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I've got 20 minutes. I don't need to do anything. Well, what else do you want to talk about, Kris?
Well, I'd like to know how Nicky got into streaming, because I'm quite, obviously I've only just recently come on board to the streaming platform or world. Yeah, I mean, I've only really recently got into that, so I'm quite fascinated to know how he got into it and why. And
he does it he did it at first, and he was a bit quiet. I mean, remember we had Nicky on one of the first Transfer Day podcasts, and I thought, hey, he's all right, but he's not brilliant. Like with everybody who does podcasts, you give him doing a year of Twitch and stuff, and he's got all the top quality gear and all the idea, and now. Brilliant. I can sit there like I do with Cripsy and all the others, and I can just have Nick in the background chatting, playing his games. I don't even have to be watching. But it takes a while, though, doesn't it, Nick, to get into the not thinking you're mental, sitting in a room on your own, talking to people that you don't know.
Yeah. But I've always been mental, but yeah, I was just saying, Kris, I mean, I bought my own place 2018, and over the years I've just accumulated so many games because I lived at home and obviously had loads of spare cash, and now I moved out, I don't have loads of spare cash, and I've got all these games I've played or never played from PS1 all the way up till now. When I counted, I had over 300 games that I'd never even opened, let alone played. So I thought, I'll play them and that, and I don't know why I'd started watching someone on Twitch. So I think one of the people I used to speak to done a podcast. He started doing Twitch and then stopped after about a month. So I downloaded it to see him doing it. And then I just got bored one day and just started flicking through Twitch. And I thought, you can actually see people playing games, not just, the usual booby streamers and stuff like that, which you sometimes get. Well, you got it a lot worse a few years ago. They've clamped down on that now, where you've got, the woman's breasts are just, 90% of the screen, you've got a tiny little Sonic the Hedgehog game in the corner. But, yeah, that's how it was.
They're the streams Danny tunes in for regularly. Yeah.
When I go to my Twitch, it brings up recommended. If I could have a list and show all the booby streamers immediately, I don't even watch them. Not interested, not for hundreds of them. That's why the platform that makes them money, but they're fucking. You can now be a topless bird, put a little bit of plaster over your boob, over your nipple, and then paint yourself in front of kids. Grown women with large appendages doing that. It's fucking disgusting.
Well, one of the biggest women booby streamers there, I'm not going to say her name, I know who she is. The last few months, the last few weeks or months, she's been filming herself sleeping.
Yeah.
And there's like 3,000-4,000 people watching her and chucking money at her and stuff like that. She's filming herself in a swimming pool. I don't watch it, but because I search on Twitch on my phone and stuff like that, when
I've heard this excuse before, Nicky.
Yeah, all right. No, but seriously, when I do that on my phone in my Google News feed, Twitch stuff comes up. So there's a guy who accidentally shot his gun into a monitor on stream. He said, "I didn't think it was loaded." I was like, "You idiot!" Yep, whoops. And then they banned him. I was like, "You idiot!"
I think that guy is my spirit animal. Archie sums it up perfectly. Thirsty virgins love gamer girls, but they're
not gonna send you like their address and ask you to go around there. That's not what they're gonna. I've asked. They don't want it.
What?
But yeah,
see, I'm on the fence with this, Nick, because some of them
you need.
No. I agree. I agree with that. But I follow a streamer called Wicked Beth, right? Now she is what I would describe as actually talented in that she does like Just Dance, and she does this thing called what's it called? Beat Saber, which I find, like sometimes when you just find yourself watching something and you're just hypnotized by it, by like how good people are at something. And basically Beat Saber is exactly like what it sounds like. It's like the dance jumping around dance machines you go in arcades, but you have and you swipe for musical notes. Now she's I would say mid-30s. She's a good-looking woman. She's a bit gothic, so I'm quite keen on that. She's slim, she's toned, but I wouldn't class her as a booby streamer. But yes, she does happen to wear sort of short shorts and vest tops. But I'm like, you know what? Like, if you've got a talent and you can do it, if somebody would throw a quid at a time at me for sitting on stream with one bollock out, I would happily do that. No problem whatsoever. I'd get both out for £2 an hour. But do you know what I mean? It wouldn't bother me 1 second. It wouldn't bother me at all. And
I'll DM you some websites, Chris, if you're that hard up for money, mate.
I'll get myself on Chatterbait, the Kris.
Oh, you already know.
Yeah,
but
do you know what I mean? Like, if there's sites like that which are specifically for an adult variety. But if you're a good-looking woman, and that you've got a talent for being a gamer, and just having a bit of cleavage out, I think that's very different to literally coming on going, "Hi, morning boys, how are you? Let's play some Sonic."
I mean, in that shirt, Chris. You could certainly do it for something, for some guys.
Yeah. Or I could just spit on myself or something. I don't know.
Try doing it, Chris, because what you need to do, first we need to know that you're never going to get anywhere. The ship is left.
That's what Kris said.
Yeah, but you don't need to, because I'd be watching. Nick would watch. Cripsy might come and watch you. Some of ABW might. I mean, you can even use the ABW account. Me and John have done it. But if you wanted to do it, the most important thing is technology and the ability to talk. That's it. That's all you need nowadays. The rest of it. In fact, if you're bad at gaming, carry on doing it. But you'd be good at it.
I don't think I would be good, because honestly, nobody wants to watch me rage at FIFA.
Literally, I'm telling you.
I turn into an animal. Some of the shit I say is not broadcastable. I swear. Like, I know we have good banter on this pod, but some of the shit I come out with, nothing homophobic, nothing racist, nothing like that. But some of the shit I say to people is not.
I think that's perfect, Chris. It'll be perfect.
I don't think
We'll just change. We'll just change our names from ABW to another four letters instead, and you'll fit right in.
Okay. Yeah,
well,
mate.
If people want to see Kris do it, ABW have got their own Twitch channel. Just go and tweet him or tweet the podcast. Let him know that you want him to do it at AFC Freddy 8. And
Kris, then you can go straight from the PS4, mate. Just plug a camera into the PS4, and you're away. So if you wanted to try, I can help you set. It's easy, but I'll just go back on what you actually the question you asked before you then started talking over. Like, because like I said, I had so many games, I thought I was going to play them anyway, and I was just talking to a few people. And they said, "Well, why don't you give it a go streaming?" So first, I just plugged a camera into the Xbox and was just having a little mess about. But then I sort of got into it a bit, and then I bought like all the stuff. So I got like the green screen because I've got my other bedroom, which is my games room. It's got all the stuff in. I mean, you saw it if you went to my channel, all the games I got there. So I was going to play, I wanted to play them anyway because, I've got so many games, I've never played them. And I can't afford new games. I can't afford to buy every new game I want because there's so many of them, mate. So I thought I'll just do that. And I just got into it. And that's just, I've been streaming April last year. I've never made a penny off of it because you only get paid out once you make so much money off of Twitch.
$100.
But then there's people, dollars, and then they'll pay you whenever they want to. But that's not what that's about. It's just like you're talking to people. And, I try to explain to people who said, they don't understand Twitch. I'm sure you guys all did. Like when you went round your mate's house and they were playing games, you'd like take it in turns, or if they were playing, like you said, Kris, Resident Evil, you talk to them and say, if you try this and you do that, blah, 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 blah. All right, I'll try that. Yeah. And it just reminds me of stuff like that when I was younger, when you used to like speak to your mates and stuff like that. That's what it's normally about. I mean, if you were to get really Twitch famous and get thousands of views, then you're just not, the chat is irrelevant.
I won't go and watch any channel that's got more than about 30 or 40 people. Pointless. Takes all the fun out of it. But like you go on there now, Nicky's got all of the people that he knows, and you go in there and he says hello or stop what he's doing, and that's the like we do with the podcast.
I think it varies though, because I mean, like some of the streams I watch, and I genuinely will nip into Nicky's channel at some point as well. Like the ones I watch, I watch Cripsy, and typically, unless he gets a big raid, he's sort of in the sort of 100, 150 mark on average a night. He's an Aussie streamer, so it's not peak time as well. I watch some streamers that literally have 1 or 2 viewers, and that's it. Beth gets probably about sort of 50 to 100 each time she streams. And then like Ian Sterling streams, the guy who does the Voice to Love Island, he streams, he only gets about 200 or 300, and he's a bona fide celebrity. Like you'd think he would get more. And the one I'm watching now, like Nick 2018, he's got right now 4,665 viewers. He's had 40,000 views this month. Like, so, but that's his living, that's his day job. But the thing I like about Nick's stream is he rages as much as I do, but you can type in his chat, and even though there are 4,000 people live now, I can see, even look at the screen now as the chat moves, 1, 2, 3, 4 people I see there every day. So even in a community that's got that many thousands of views, Nick's quite engaging in that he will talk to his chat, and he will sort of, and they've got like you would know, Nicky, like a bot that reads out certain messages. So you do generally see the same people. Whereas if you go in, I can only speak for like the FIFA community. You go on something like Castro's stream, 8,000 people. I mean, that guy's an irritating. Yeah, but he doesn't really interact with his chat very much. Nepenthes, who I watch quite a lot of his YouTube videos, really good streamer, but he's not a huge interactor with the chat. But people like Nick and Zwayback, who I follow, and people like that on like the FIFA streamers, they're actually quite good because they do interact with their chat. And like Nicky said there, it for me, what I like about gaming, particularly in a time like now where we literally have got films, gaming, and wanking, and that's pretty much all we've got. Sometimes eating during wanking, but I'm joking, of course. Don't mix food with pleasure, guys and girls. It gets messy. But yeah, it's a bit of company, it's a bit of background noise, and like Nicky said, if you get in 3 or 4, 5 or 6 or 4 or 500, it doesn't matter. If you're getting regular people who just come in and just chat, or somebody will be talking about a game and somebody will say, "Oh yeah, like we did earlier. Oh, Night Trap. Oh, I remember Night Trap." and it sparks conversation.
Yeah.
And I think it's really, really good. I know we're quite big on this podcast about like mental health and people not suffering and stuff like that. It's really cool when you can just get in a stream and just hang out. It's the same with like a WhatsApp group or whatever. You can just hang out and just chat to people, and it's quite nice. And when you're watching somebody play a game that you like, because you're not gonna tune into a stream of a game you don't like. You're only going to tune into a game you do like. So yeah, I recommend anybody who's never hopped into a Twitch stream or Mixer or Facebook Live, whatever it is.
If you know the people that are doing it, it's very intimate. Anyway, we've got to wrap this up. A couple of things. Don't know if anyone's noticed, because everyone's stuck at home, we're doing the opposite to what everyone else does. We've turned off all adverts. I mean, we make about £1 per YouTube video. So after the adverts probably won't come back on when everyone's allowed out of the house. We also don't say to people we want donations, because we don't. And we don't say to people you can subscribe or do any of this lot. A lot of people do, and good luck to them if people are making a living from it. But we're not making a living from this. We're doing. You need to go to Nick and give him all your Amazon Prime subscriptions, because he does this day in, day out, and spent a fortune on all the equipment. Or like some of the people Kris said, people who do it for a living. So that's why, go and give them your Prime subscriptions, because they get £2.50 for every one. So next podcast we'll do that I'll be on will be we'll do films and TV, and that'll be a good one.
Are we going to do film and TV, or are we going to?
We might just say film and TV and only do film.
I think you're wrong, Kris.
Very good. I think it would be only fair that we have Josh and Nicky back on for those as well, as soon as we've started. So we'll finish even if that means I have to wear a gag, that's fine.
But not the next podcast we're doing, no, because I think Jace is going to sort out another live one, because he's got plans for stuff. And if any of the rest of APW are watching or listening, because they don't bother, they can't be fucked anymore. So if any of you lazy fuckers decide you want to do anything, like that's going to happen, right? Yeah. Even during isolation, when everyone's fucking confined to the house, none of the fuckers are coming on. Jesus Christ. In
fairness, OG has said he's quite keen to hop on, but OG's still having to work from home during all this, so he's still got work. But he has said he'd like to jump on with me, and I think I'd love to do another pod with Neil when he's free. And now John's moved back into his new basement.
Mainly lazy fuckers like Ellis that are doing fuck all the time.
Yeah, I mean, Ellis. Ellis is
what a scumbag. And Carl. And where's Carl been lately? It's not like he's. London Underground have made him work 24 hours a day for the last 2 weeks. He hasn't even got time to shit. Lazy.
Well, there's less people around for him to move as well.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, at this stage, Carl's just lazy. At this stage,
Carl found out that Fife wasn't allowed to go to work. He lost all his ambition at work to try and ruin Fifey's day. Yeah. We need to go, because I've got to do another show. If you want to come and see me doing this, no idea what the fuck we're doing. There you go. There's the link to the Gooners podcast in my canal. Lee will be there. I'll be there going, what are we doing again? What, I have to pick what? Anyway, no idea. That show's going to start in 5 minutes. So thank you very much to Nick. Nick, where can people find you on the wonderful Twitches?
Yeah, I'm on Nick Fights at Twitch. If anyone wants to come and follow me, I've got a copy of Metro 2033 on Xbox One code to give away. I'm not going to be one of those guys, but I was going to give it away anyway because I've already got it, so I'm not that nice. If anyone wants to come in, give me a follow, put it in chat, and I'll DM you the code.
Lovely. There you go.
Not you, Josh.
No.
That's fine. I'm all right.
Josh, nice to have you back. Hopefully you'll be available for some of the upcoming stuff as we try and keep all the people that watch this, keep them busy and entertained over the coming 6 months that we're not allowed to leave the house.
Yeah, it's fine. It's good to be back. And I suppose we've got loads of time to kill now, haven't we?
We certainly do. And Kris, that's now 4 shows in a row you've done. Shame you weren't doing this when we needed you, but never mind. You're here now.
Get fucked. Get absolutely fucked.
I'm glad someone said it.
Anyway, thank you very much to everybody in the chat box, everybody who's watching at home. Remember, don't like it, don't subscribe, don't tell your friends. It's our little secret. Good night.
Give us a thumbs up, please.
Don't fucking ruin it.
Thumbs down.